I have worked for bosses that you would consider unjust or unfair. They would treat people like a commodity rather than a person. And they were running the business into the ground because they were being self-righteous and prideful. They always knew what was right. And I would become angry and bitter because they weren't treating people fairly and they were running the business into the ground. And I would end up leaving the organization. 1 Peter 2 tells us something a little bit different. Servants, be subject to authority with all respect, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the unjust. For this is a gracious thing, when mindful of God, one endures sorrows while suffering unjustly. For what credit is it if when you sin and suffer for it, you endure, but when you do good and suffer for it, you endure? That is a gracious thing in the sight of God. Now, I'm not talking about illegal or criminal behavior or a hyper abusive type of situation. That's a different conversation that we need to flee from. I'm talking about people that are unjust, unfair, and bullies. Recognizing that we are not going to change them is a place of peace for us. We don't have to be a defeated doormat in the situation, but just giving the situation over to God and being at peace with the fact that we're not going to control them. We're not going to change their behavior. We're not going to change the way they think, but we can change how we respond to it and let go of any kind of bitterness or anger and be at peace with God as a result of it. And who knows? Maybe they will see your example or others see your example and become believers or be interested in becoming believers as a result. Now, go do God's work.